All right, we're so excited. Anytime we get a chance to talk to the great Emmy Award winning host of Tough as Nails, he's back, and so is the show. Phil Keoghan. Phil, how are you?
Wow, I forgot about your bell. That's my
Yep.
first bell for 2023.
Happy
Um,
New Year.
Happy New Year to you both. I was just saying, it's been so long since I've seen Jessica on camera. I'm loving this new look that you got going on. Or maybe it's an old look that's just come back into play. I don't know. But the glasses, the headphones, the color, the vibrance, the whole thing. It's lovely. And Rob, I feel sort of underdressed, so to speak, with my background, with you and your purple Prince tribute thing going on in the
Yes,
background there.
that's never been described that way, Phil, but that's a great note, of course. You're usually in the workshop.
I am, but now it's a stormy day down here in New Zealand, and so I'm looking out on a very angry ocean
Hmm.
and braving the storm down here. It's summertime, as you know, down in New Zealand, and yeah, we've had beautiful weather, and then all of a sudden, woke up yesterday, and we've got a bit of a storm.
Okay. All right. Well, Phil, we're very excited for Tough as Nails to be
Yes.
back Wednesday night. And it's a 2 hour premiere for Tough as Nails. Phil, for people who did not check out the first 3 seasons of Tough as Nails, could you give your pitch for why people should check out season 4?
Well, yes. As you know, we do pay a lot of attention to celebrity. We're very interested in what salads they're eating and who they're dating, and every little nuance of their life, which is great. There's plenty of celebrity shows that celebrate
Hmm.
celebrities, but I really feel that Tough as Nails is helping for all of us to maybe pay a little attention to the every person, the real people in real life who are real tough, who keep our country running, and they've done a stellar job all the way through the pandemic. And so we have people from all walks of life. They're the best of the best in their chosen trades, and they really are representative of all of us. The most people who see themselves, see their brothers, their sisters, their uncles, their aunts, doing the things that literally keep the country ticking. So it's about putting spotlight on real people in real life who are real tough. It's just a different uh, group of people that I feel need some acknowledgement for their contribution to society.
Well, okay, and now I want you to talk to the diehard fans that didn't miss an episode of the first 3 seasons. What are you most excited about coming back?
Well, as you know, the longer you get to do something, hopefully the better you get at doing it. More and more people found out about Tough as Nails, not just in the United States, but also around the world. The format and the franchise of Tough as Nails has continued to grow. It was a top show in Denmark, for instance. I think something like 30 something percent up in the time slot, a top show of the week there. The formats worked in Denmark. It's now about to launch in the Netherlands. It's the series is shot, and then also Belgium. Turkey is apparently meant to be next. They're talking to Norway. So it's about universal themes. The people who help us keep our lights on, and the people who make sure that things function on a day-to-day basis. So to the diehard fans, I would say, look, more people have heard about the show, more people have applied. We've got more people to choose from, and this cast, and I expect it's going to happen every season, is more competitive and more diverse and perhaps more interesting to watch than the one before. The idea is that the more people apply, the more choices you have as producers to be able to pick more and more interesting people. So I love this group. We shot this season. We started this season out on Catalina Island, out of two harbors. And right from the beginning, you'll see that there's a real sense of humor with this cast.
Hmm.
Some terrible dad jokes this season. We really ramped up the dad jokes, and they're not just coming from me. So yeah, I think anybody who's loved Tough as Nails over the last few seasons is going to love this season, because it has what to me is at its core, which is real heart and real humor.
We know there's always going to be some big characters on Tough as Nails. Do you have any standouts for season 4 coming in?
Yeah, I mean, you'll see it straight away. One of my favorites is Jake. He's a pipeline worker. Jake actually inspired the badge of honors. I was talking to Jake. Jake was going to be on season 1, and then through one reason or another, he had an injury during our casting of season 1. He had a work commitment for 2. He had another challenge with his schedule in season 3, and then we finally got him in season 4. And when I was talking to him way back when, it must have been, well, gosh, back in 2017, before we even ramped up into season 1, he had just come in from work, and he was sitting talking to me, and on his table, he had his helmet. And I asked him about it, and he picked it up, and he said, "You see those, Phil?" And he was pointing to the stickers on his helmet. He said, "You see those stickers? Those are badges of honor. Those represent the jobs that I have been on. And if you work in the industry, you know that person had to really earn that badge of honor, because they were in Montana working for months on end away from their family, getting the job done." And so he's the one that inspired that aspect of Tough as Nails, where, as you know, if you win the team competition, you not only get the $12,000 cash, but you also get a badge of honor. And honor and those types of things are very, very important to those people who work in those trades.
So we're leaning a lot this season. I've seen about the first 10 minutes of the first episode, and I've heard the phrase "we keep America running" about 6 times in that 10 minutes. And I'm really curious to know, every time I watch an episode of Tough as Nails, I think about, oh, I didn't even think about the fact that somebody has to do this thing. So are there any standout challenges that you can tease us about?
Yes. And there's one that takes place in a nursery, and my dad actually makes an appearance from New Zealand. I call him up. And it just so happened that on this particular day, I don't know if you remember that biblical storm we had a couple of years ago. It would have been end of November, roughly, of 2021. And we had this massive storm in LA, and flash floods, and it was epic. And I remember I had a couple of people ask if we were going to be canceling the day because it was raining. I said, "Listen, this is when people who are tough as nails go to work, and we're going to work. And I know you're used to working in LA where it's beautiful and sunny and shiny every day, but we're making a show called Tough as Nails, not soft as pillows, and we are going to go to work." So we went to work, and we literally shot in this storm, and it was epic. I mean, it was just so different from anything else that we had done. They had to pick up an order scattered over this area that was the size of, 20 football fields, or even bigger. It was massive, a huge area, acres, and pick up a plant order in the pouring rain. So that's definitely one for me that stands out. And then you might see a few guest appearances from some previous Tough as Nails contestants. And one of them who might be a favorite mechanic from season 3. And we might be putting together a V8 engine from scratch and getting it going. So yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Jessica. Part of what we're trying to do with Tough as Nails, and there's no shortage of great ideas, and we saw that in season 5 that we just shot, finding new and different things, insightful things that people have never even thought of or heard of, going to a galvanizing plant, for instance. Galvanizing plant. I mean, what the hell happens at a galvanizing plant? So yeah, every season it's about trying to open people's eyes up to something new and different. But of course, out of it, we get incredible competition and great entertainment.
Phil, you've had to deal with so many different challenges in terms of COVID over the course of Tough as Nails, and you've spent time talking to us about all of the different precautions that you've had to go through. By the time you shot season 4, had things opened up at all in terms of how much COVID protocol you had to do?
No, I think I added it up the other day along with Amazing Race. I think I've done 7 seasons now with COVID protocols. I'm proud to say on Tough as Nails, we've had no stoppages or incidents with COVID on the production, which is a testament to the incredible production team that runs it. But it puts a strain on production. It has not been easy. And not only is it not easy, it's also incredibly expensive, and it really is taxing. It's like having another add-on production to your production, because you've got your production, you've got to worry about transporting people, feeding people, keeping people safe, running challenges, testing challenges. You've got all of that to worry about, keeping your cast happy. And then there's this other production, with other people and other logistics. And you have to add that on. And that's a big part of your day. So I'm going to say it has not been easy. It was particularly difficult for us in season 2. We got better at dealing with it in 3, and we got better in 4. But I'm not going to lie. It's really difficult. And I hope it goes away soon. The protocol part of it, I hope that we're just at a point where it's difficult because the mandates are going, but then the consequences are the same. So there isn't the same sort of front end protection, but the consequences of getting it are the same. People get kicked off productions where they can't go to work. And so we've had to deal with that. And I do want to say the cast and the crew have been amazing, realizing the importance of protecting people so that they have the chance to go all the way through and to participate for the win. The cast and crew have been extraordinary, incredibly patient.
I mean, speaking of things you don't think about having to be done, because I think it's great to get the insight like this on a show like this, because the show is about people doing tasks that you might not think about twice. And now I think we've learned so much about what goes into producing a TV show in general, just from talking to you about all of this. And I think it makes you watch all of television differently. Like I've really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Well, I have to say, I really appreciated you guys taking an interest in the show early on, and so did our team, because we were against the odds with the Star of Ever show. We were working with less resources than most reality shows on network. So it required a smaller team doing a lot more, a lot of people wearing a lot more hats in order to be able to make it work. And so at its core, it really comes down to putting the right people in the right positions, and people who really are like, I call them 3-for-1s. Basically, you employ one person, and that person is so good at what they do, but also so good at other aspects of storytelling and making television, that you're really getting 3 people, and they turn up with passion and gusto, never complain. I mean, one of my favorite moments on this season, Scott Shelley, who's the DP, who has been working with Louise and I now for 30 years. We're in the middle of the rainstorm, and another one of our camera operators, Lucas, who I've been working with for about 25 years, I see them shooting and they're filming, and in the middle of this pouring rainstorm, they had their own little moment together, and they just reached over and gave each other a high five in the middle of this rainstorm. And they just like, I love this shit. It's like the people that we have are so passionate about the content that we are making. There's nothing better as a storyteller to know that what you're doing is way bigger than you, and they have their own investment in the content, that you're not just carrying that whole thing by yourself, that they are as invested as you are. They are giving everything they can to this. And at the end of the day, to have people come up to you and even, editors after they've cut the content and say, this shit really matters to me. I really love cutting this. I love these people. I love these stories. Yeah, of course you want people, as many people, to watch the show, and you want them to be able to continue to make the show. But when you hear that and you know that they truly believe in the material as much as you do, it's incredibly satisfying, because you just realize this is not about one person or a few of us. This is about all of us collectively coming together to try to make something that's impactful, that makes people think, and that entertains, and where you walk away from watching this season and you're falling in love with these characters, and maybe you have a new appreciation for your aunt, your uncle, your brother, your sister, or somebody who has been getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning for 30 years to go milk the cows or do whatever that job is. So I just feel like sometimes you can be involved in making content that extends beyond just putting a piece of television up on the air on a weekly basis.
Phil, is there anything else about season 4 that you want to make sure people know before we head into the premiere coming up on Wednesday night?
To know, well, I guess I was encouraged to start a TikTok.
Oh,
Oh,
I think I'm approaching 100 followers, Rob. But anyway, I was encouraged to start a TikTok.
you got 102 once we get off this
102.
call.
Okay, wow, it's really
I'll have
growing
to get a
exponentially.
TikTok.
Yeah.
But it actually came from an idea came from one of our producers to get our cast to do some DIYs, and to actually show like some really helpful DIYs
Yeah.
that people could use on a
Yeah, that's
day-to-day
great.
basis. And so we started putting them up, and I'm getting more people watching and looking at them on my Twitter and Instagram account. But I do have a TikTok account, and I would say to people, it's a fun way to see if you fall in love with this cast when you see them, and you want to see them just relax at home, sharing an interesting handy tip, then check them out.
Okay. Phil, thank you so much for making some time to talk with us about the new season. We're very excited that it's back, and can't wait to see what you have up your sleeves.
Oh yeah, it's good, and we're just about to wrap the post-production on season 5, and we shot that in a outside of LA for the first time, and I can assure you that's also next level. So there's some good things to come if you're a Tough as Nails fan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you're a Phil Keoghan fan, you've eaten over these last 2.5 years. I mean, really, that some would say that, yeah, some would say that, I mean, you've had to carry this network. I mean, has there been more than 2 weeks without a Phil Keoghan show on CBS in the last 2.5 years?
Wow. Wow. I'm lucky to be working, aren't I?
Yeah.
And yet you're still not on Paramount. What's up with that?
I'm still not on the mountain. I know, Jessica, I've just forgotten. And Jeff Corden's The World Traveler still, I guess. I don't know if they're still playing that promo, but
yeah.
I'm still going to push him off the skidoo if I see him out near Paramount Mountain. Whoosh!
All right, Phil, thank you so much. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Bye.